Hello and welcome back to another speed build with Frimlin, and it's been a few days, sorry about that. I did my last build and I felt a bit kind of drained, and I also I have quite a few things that I want to build, like in my build queue, and I don't know, it just kind of overwhelmed me, and so I just kind of wanted a bit of a break, and I went to played World of Warcraft for a little while. But I'm back. It's only been about a week, so not too long. And one of the things in my build queue was that one of my friends on Twitter asked me if I could build a starter home for her, and her name is Stealth. And hi Stealth. Well, that's her username. And she wanted a starter home made using the backyard stuff pack. So here it is, and it's kind of a modern art deco kind of build. That's why it looks like it's very boxy. It's very cubey. And every item in this build that isn't from the base game is from the backyard stuff pack. Funnily enough, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll already know that I like restricting my builds to using just one or two packs. And yeah, she asked me for backyard stuff start home, and here it is, or here is an interpretation of that request. And she didn't necessarily need the slide, if I remember correctly, but I thought I'd put it in there anyway because it's such an iconic part of the pack. But there is a cheaper version, which is the one I've used, and that's only like, I think it's 675 simoleons or something like that. So it wasn't too expensive, but it does mean that the rest of the house is pretty basic. Now at this point I'm thinking about not doing a starter home, basically. I was building it and I was thinking, I could spend quite a lot of money, and already if you know a starter budget, you'll know this is quite big for a starter budget, and I probably, in hindsight, I should have been able to have seen that earlier, but I thought, no, let's go for it, see what we can do. I don't know. Somehow I got confused along the way, and I realized, no, I'm going to have to really tone it down. So it looks relatively decent at the moment in terms of size. And there's a few rooms, so you've got a few options. But over time I realised I'm going to have to really size it down. So I think it's actually quite like the little bathroom I did because of its privacy walls that are kind of like an iconic part of my family builds. But I had to change the bathroom. The bathroom in the end became what was left behind in between all the other rooms, as you'll see. And yeah, so I was thinking maybe I should just forget about the whole starter budget idea and just go for it and make it look as nice as I can in this, relatively small build. But then I decided no. Basically, I thought that if I did make it over the starter budget, then that really ignores the request, and that would perhaps be rude. So I thought, I'm not going to be rude. I'm not a person that is rude, generally. I have to be pushed quite hard to be rude to someone. So, no, I thought I have to respect the starter budget request, and that is what I did in the end. So that means I had to tone down my plans, my nice modern build plans with large lounge and kitchen, and to bring it right down. And it's funny because I've made so many big builds recently, I've kind of forgotten how basic a starter home build has to be in order to fit the kind of the 18,500 simoleon budget. And I know that a lot of people are more relaxed about budgets now for starter homes, but I like the idea that people use it in challenges, and there are a lot of challenges that are set up with the restricted budgets, so I think the old starter budget still applies, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do more expensive builds, and if you look at my catalogue, I do them. That reminds me, I need to point out that there seems to be some kind of bug with my brand of microphone and Windows 10, and so that's why you hear little static kind of bubbling noises every now and then, and there's no noise like that actually going on in real life. It's just something that seems to be a bug. After a bit of googling, I tracked it down to that. Apparently if I did my sound recording on Linux or Windows 7 or something else other than Windows 10, I wouldn't have this problem, but I can't really be bothered with that. That would be quite a task, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm sorry, but my sound is going to have these little kind of bubbly noises every now and then. It's a shame, but oh well. I think you can get over it. So here you see me butchering the house, basically making it smaller and smaller because I just ran out of budget, and I wanted to still make it look quite nice, and in particular I really wanted to make the lounge look quite good because, as you will see, there was a lot of nice pattern matching going on between the different items in the backyard stuff pack, and I have actually, wait for it, I've never used those ones before. I mean I say that all the time, probably in all my videos, because I always try and use items that I haven't used before, but I have used like the little table that the tiny television is on, and I have used the chair I think before, but like in different situations, not in a lounge and not those color options, so that was quite cool. And also I just noticed the bathroom wallpaper is a type that I haven't used before, or I haven't used that shade, so it's just amazing that you can still keep finding stuff that you haven't used, and you know, in some particular builds it will just work where it didn't work before. So what else do I have to talk about? I've been thinking, what do I need to do to make my commentaries more interesting, because I kind of want to figure out why I've still got, you know, I haven't got loads of subscribers, right? And I'm okay with that, because I know many of you by name and we talk a lot in the comments of my videos, but I do wonder, what is it that holds, you know, more subscribers from coming over to my channel? I think one of the things is that a lot of my builds are quite plain and I don't have, you know, because I don't use Moo perhaps. No, that's not the reason, because I've got a friend called Serafina who does some really amazing builds, and she doesn't use Moo, so it's not that. So could it be that my commentary is just so boring, and why is that? And maybe that is it, I don't know. Obviously I want to hear what you think, otherwise I wouldn't have brought it up. Let's bring the elephant into the room and talk about him or her. Yeah, so is my commentary really boring? Well, there's possibly a few reasons for that, and one of them is because I don't really like talking about my personal life, and a lot of the simmers that I like watching speed builds of do talk about their personal lives, and in fact, you know, they tell little stories about what they've been doing that day or something funny that happened to them that week, but I have shied away from talking about personal stuff on my Sims videos. I'm not sure that I'm really going to change that too much at the moment, but I am going to tell you kind of why that is, and mostly it's because at the moment I'm in between jobs and I'm kind of, I don't know, a bit embarrassed about that. I'm really looking for a job, and because of that I've been a bit kind of down in my personal life, and so I don't really want to talk about being down. I'd prefer to just distract myself by talking about the build. But, you know, because my builds are relatively plain, and because I don't talk about my personal stuff, you know, that's going on, is that, you know, why there isn't more interest? I don't know. But anyway, I'm trying to make my commentaries a bit more interesting. Or at least I am for this video. Maybe it will change in the next video. Who knows? But it seems that the people that do write comments on the videos like the stuff I say and the stuff I do, so I appreciate that very much, first of all. Thank you so much. And it's really nice, some of the comments I see, they're just so sweet, and you know, people have obviously been listening very carefully to what I've said, And this also makes me kind of really nervous about making sure that I don't say stupid stuff. And actually, it reminds me, of my last build, this really big commercial build. The last video I did of that, I think I told you at the time, it was really hard to record the commentary for it, and I actually stopped and started multiple times. And it took me the whole day to do the commentary for it. It was crazy, but I was just feeling so empty. There was just nothing going on for me at that time. So I couldn't really talk about anything. I was like, oh, what can I talk about? I just had to talk about the build, because, that's the only thing that could distract me from my real life, which was so empty and dead at that time. And it's just because that's the way I've allowed my life to evolve recently, and it's something I'm going to change. But I don't think I'm going to be able to change it until I get a new job and probably a new country. So there will be a package deal. I will definitely have to move. I've moved for every job that I've got. Oh, apart from my last one. But I should have moved and got a new job somewhere else. Anyway, here's the screenshots of this very basic starter home. Yeah, so there's a little bedroom for kids with, unfortunately, no toys. And the kitchen, also very basic. And here's the rather nice lounge, using the backyard stuff objects. And there's a little kind of drinks thing over by the window we can get drinks from, which is quite nice. Question for you. Do you think I should continue to do speed build videos for starter homes? Or do you think I should just do them only for the bigger builds? I'm really curious what you think, because it's actually quite a bit of work just for a small starter house, and I used to build starter houses a lot faster before I made speed builds for them. I'd like to know your opinion. Please tell me in the comments. Thank you very much. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of this speed build, and I hope you'll come back for more. Take care and goodbye.